It is a known fact that if we do something often enough, it starts to become second nature. We end up doing it without having to think about it. Even highly complex tasks tend to become routine. Routine becomes habit, and before we know it, we start working on autopilot, oblivious to any danger. And then one day, disaster strikes. That stays with us for some time. That makes us think about the people whose lives were affected and also about ourselves. And then we begin to wonder how many more times it has to happen before we realize that we can never afford to become complacent. Therefore, based on the experiences in every organization, safety rules are introduced to help us all stick to the safe way of doing things. In fact, that is our last line of defense in protecting ourselves. Following the safety rules allows us to make great improvements in our working environment, where safety and efficiency go hand in hand. Now it's time to refresh our memories, and more importantly, to ensure that those safety rules are applied in whatever we're doing and whenever we're doing it. Everyone can use these rules, confirming together the rules are being applied or stopping work if they are not, or if things become unsafe. We need to use these rules like a pilot uses a checklist on a plane before takeoff. They perform pre-flight inspections and run through a checklist every time they fly, no matter how experienced they are or how often they've done it in the past. And they have the authority to stop a flight if anything is wrong. Just imagine, how would you feel if they didn't bother to follow the safety checklists? If the pilots tend to rely on the fact that they've done these routines hundreds of times before and everything had been checked out, would you and your family want to get on that plane? Why shouldn't we apply the same safety criteria as pilots, air traffic controllers, and aircraft technicians? Why wouldn't our safety rules and procedures be ingrained into our routine like it is theirs? In fact, we all have our procedures that tell us how things need to be done safely. Every organization provides life-saving rules to keep the workers focused on the most critical dangers and to stop them from taking unnecessary risks, and also have the system for making sure that everyone understands and is ready to start the work in a safe manner. Here are the 9 safety rules, which must be followed by everyone irrespective of the organization or the task. First and the foremost, obtain authorization before starting any work, ensuring that you are qualified to the task. Next, always wear personal protective equipment during work. Always use appropriate tools and equipment for the job. Consult your supervisor before overriding or disabling safety-critical equipment. Ensure all operations are properly planned and controlled. Ensure that you understand proper isolation and lockout and tagout procedure. Before working on powered equipment, stay out of the line of fire, implying that avoid potential hazards from moving objects, machinery, or other sources of potential harm. Obtain proper authorization and observe all safety precautions before entering any hazardous area. Lastly, follow proper planning, procedures, and have fall protection equipment when working at heights. These rules must be ingrained in our work habits and religiously followed by all. Therefore, please remember that every one of us, irrespective of his job, position, or seniority, has got the authority and mandate to speak up when something is not right or is unsafe. These are things we ought to do and should become part of the job we do. If these habits become ingrained in the way we collectively do things, it would imply that both challenging and routine work don't have to be unsafe. And it would mean we make sure that everyone goes home safe every day. Thanks for watching.